Hello, and welcome to the digital portion of this year's English course. I'm making this video as a general overview of kind of how the Google Classroom is going to look and what I'm expecting of this year. So the first thing that I wanted to point out to all of you is this section right here on the left-hand side, the topic section. The topic section lists all of the different links and tools we'll be using throughout the semester. The first thing listed here is our course overview. As you can see, it gives a brief description of what the class looks like, the letter I sent home to your parents earlier this year, a letter about the obstacles of digital learning, and the standards and objectives we'll be looking at for this course. One thing that I can highly suggest for all of you is to take a look at this letter for the obstacles of digital learning. I give several suggestions on how to overcome some of the most basic things that you might face this year. The next section listed is our announcement section. This section is really for any announcements listed about the school, any clubs you're in, any activities, any sports, and even about the course. The great part about this section is you can post here too. If you go down to the right-hand corner where this blue circle with the plus sign is, you just click there and click Create Announcement, and it allows you to post right to this form. Please share any information about anything exciting or interesting that's happening around the school or for any of your teams. The next section listed is our class blog. Our class blog is set up for any assignments that I want the class to look at as a whole and make comments and suggestions to. So this is really the public one where you will be posting any of the assignments. You will each have your own personal Google bloggers, but this one is for the class as a whole. The next two sections is our quarter 1 and quarter 2 sections. Each week is set up exactly the same. You'll see a checklist and a module. So let's take a look at week 1. So week 1 is made up of this checklist, which is just a general overview for that week. You can use this to keep track of what you're doing, what you need to do, by simply placing an X or some other symbol in the boxes on the sides, highlighting as you need. This is for you to use. You can upload this to your Google Docs account. You can print it off if you want a physical copy. Save it any way you want. The next part is our modules. Our modules give a general overview for the week, as well as our goals, kind of what I'm expecting, and how it will be graded. So for week 1, it's graded on a pass-fail standard, and it's really setting up the different accounts that you'll be using throughout the semester. As you can see here, each thing is listed as materials and assignments. A lot of the materials here will help you with your assignments, so give them a peruse. Quarter 1 is really made up of all of the materials and resources you'll be using later on, and quarter 2 is then taking all of those materials and resources and creating something. The next section listed here is our digital toolbox. Our digital toolbox is different websites or links that I thought would be helpful when creating your projects. So for example, this first one here is how to create videos. You'll see Screencast-O-Matic, which I'm using right now to make this video, as well as YouTube listed here. The best part of our digital toolbox is that you guys can add your own websites to this to benefit others. So if you have something that you really want to share with the class, simply click Add Class Comment, add the link, add a short little description, and everyone will be able to see it and use it. So if you find something more useful and more helpful than what I have listed, by all means, add it to our class. The next section listed is our instructional videos. Here I've uploaded little cartoons I've created that go over some of the more advanced topics or programs we'll be using. So for example, the first one listed here is annotation. You'll be annotating a lot of the text that we use this semester. So this little cartoon not only describes what annotation is, but also gives you a mini assessment at the end to make sure you have a handle on what you're doing. The next section is our rubrics and forms. Here you'll find our standards, our poster evaluation, student feedback forms, pre and post meetings, and our final project description. Our final project description I'll be going over day 1 so that all of you know exactly where each week is headed to. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, when am I going to find out about our final project? You'll find out in the beginning. The final section is our homework box. This box is really for any assignment that is just for me to peruse first. So for example, if you had to make a rough draft for your final project, I want to view that before you give it to the rest of the class to be able to look at and make comments on. So this section is really just if you need to send me anything personally. So I hope this general overview of our course has been helpful to you. And please, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, reach out to me by email or in class at any given time. I hope